You shut up! I refuse to live my life by your plan!
Then pay us what you owe.
Money is nothing, people say. Others think that since they have more money than others, it must mean they are anointed, better than others, or just plain divine. I don't agree with these sentiments. Also, I do not believe money brings out more of what we are. The former is a way for lazy, impoverished folks to justify their social economic status. The latter is a rationale for rich people to make themselves look good. In this video, we're going to explore why money is important, courtesy of Kakegurui. So here are the lessons on money. Money is important. Never forget this thought. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. The more money you have stored up, the bigger the actions you can take. Then, if necessary, you can go all in. Of course, having money confers other benefits, namely social status. The relationship between money and status is on full display in Kakegurui. This type of relationship is needed to succeed in that school environment. With the current members of the student council hierarchy, a gambling match may end in a big loss, along with your self-worth too. So here's the truth, the only truth. We are all humans, and money does not control our nature. Money controls our nature if we let it. More financial means gives us the ability to act. That ability, fueled by an environment conducive to granting money an outsized role in human life, is what gives money its power. A dollar is only a tool. How that tool is perceived and wielded is up to the individual. But more importantly, it is determined by the species. Even more than the tool, here, money, is determined by the group judging it. Kakegurui is an excellent example of this concept. The school environment in the series is not based on academic performance. Instead, the school embraces a system based on gambling. Those with the most money control those who do not. Debt is the most used method. Intimidation and fear of loss of social status is the other. Thus, the student council, high-level gamblers, rule the private academy. The bottom rung of students are house pets, the slavish position in the hierarchy. Human nature has all types of behaviors and thoughts across the psychological and sociological spectrum. A saint can be both a saint and sinner at the same time. The evil can do harm and good at the same time. Reducing life to black and white is humans' way of making choices easier. Throughout history, life was simpler. When encountering a dangerous bear, for example, black meant fight and white meant flee. Gray is just a mixture of black and white. If someone speaks of a gray area, of life being gray, then they seek to confuse and exploit your confusion. They have already made their choice between their black and white options. They're just softening you up to persuade you to align with their choice, their desire. Next up, the indebted are less than human to the debtor. We see this in the opening scene of the series in Season 1, Episode 1. One of the main characters, Ryota, loses a gambling match to Mary. Before the loss, he seemed more confident. He had a sense of pride, especially when he played his full house set of cards. The look on his face screamed total victory achieved. That is until Mary played her winning hand. Then a look of knowing and shame emblazoned on his face. The audience feels the loss. We know the consequences of losing in anything. There's always an element of shame, but Kakegurui takes the consequences one step further. In times old, debt and serfdom served as suitable consequences. At this school, debt means slavery. In one card play, Ryota lost his social status and became indebted to Mary. He lost his freedom. Plus, he became a pet, a personal slave, as well as a slave to the rest of his classmates. He dropped to the very bottom of the social hierarchy at the academy. As you find out later in the series, if the school students council wants to, they can create a life plan you will have to follow for the rest of your life. Yes, they can do this. It turns out, in Kakegurui's world, many politicians and rich people pass through the academy's hall during their academic journey. They graduated and rose to the heights of power in society. So not only will your debt remain from your school days, but your life can be predetermined for you if you lose big in gambling. Do you think we are headed to a world where your destiny is set for you from birth? Or do you think we are headed to a world with less restraints? Let me know in the comments. Now, debt hurts. Your range of life options narrow to one. Your destiny is set, and there's nothing you can do about it. Kakegurui presents a harsh world, an existence where money alone plays an outsized role in your life. Our thoughts may lead us to think this, but Kakegurui is an accurate portrayal of money's influence in the world. Very accurate, in fact. Our current economic system runs on debt. If this COVID-19 pandemic has revealed anything, it is that not only do governments burden themselves with debt, but the country's residents take on the government's behaviors, its very psychology. Governments borrow and use debt as a means to control their citizens and other countries. Businesses use money to leverage for greater gains and also burden others. People borrow to maintain or achieve a higher standard of living. We are all also victims of others' efforts to make them borrow and control their behavior. Once indebted, you lose your agency. Yet most people are delusional. They profess that though indebted, they are still free. They deny money's great role in their life and in society. These people refuse to acknowledge reality. They are stupid. Freedom does not exist, nor does money grant freedom. However, possessing a great deal of money does give you a far greater range of options in life. Only fools deny the power of money, its ability to control and enable, to shame and uplift, to create and destroy. Don't be a fool. Make money work for you. Do not become a slave. You cannot serve two masters. You have to serve yourself or money. Choose yourself. Dominate money and you dominate life. Submit to money and you submit to the world.